In this video, we'll explore how to develop an OTA activation-based LoRa end node using an Arduino Nano and RFM95 module. Let's dive in. First, visit the Things Network server and navigate to the Things Stack Community Edition. We've covered this in previous videos where we set up an LPS8 gateway and registered it on the Things network. Good news, the gateway is running smoothly. In another video, we created an application on the Things network and set up a couple of ABP activation-based LoRa end nodes. Today we'll add an OTA activation-based device and configure it. Here's how. Click Add End Device, go to the Manual section, and select the frequency band allowed in your country. Choose Mac version 1.0.3. Click Show Advanced Activation Settings. Ensure the activation mode is OTAA, over-the-air activation, and keep the default settings for the rest. Generate the div EUI and app EUI typically filled with zeros, then generate the app key. Finally, click Register End Device. Done. A new device is created and you'll see the activation information needed for configuration. Next, let's build the LoRa end node with an Arduino Nano and RFM95 module. Follow this circuit diagram to interface the RFM95 with the Arduino Nano. Once connected, your circuit should look like this. The RFM95 module isn't breadboard friendly, so I designed a custom PCB to make this project easier. For this, I used Altium Designer. Altium Designer streamlines every step of the electronics design process in one unified platform. With over 35 years of continuous innovation, it's the most widely used PCB design solution in the world. I've been using Altium Designer for both personal and professional projects for several years now. Altium's mixed simulation technology, built on improved SPICE algorithms, enables designers to digitally test circuit performance across all operational conditions without physical prototypes or expensive equipment, delivering comprehensive analysis, measurement, and visualization capabilities that make electronic design faster, more cost-effective, and significantly more reliable than traditional experimental methods. Now open the Arduino IDE. We'll use the IBM LMIC framework library, which you can install from the Arduino Library Manager. Go to Examples in the File menu, search for IBM LMIC framework, and open the TTNOT-AA example. We'll use this code to program the LoRa end node, but first, we need to add the device activation information. On the TTN website, convert the key into an array of hexadecimal numbers in LSB format, then copy and paste it into the code. Repeat for the div EUI, ensuring it's in LSB format. For the app key, click the View button, convert it to an array of hexadecimal numbers in MSB format, and paste it into the Arduino code. Next, update the message, set the interval to 15 seconds, and adjust the pin configuration to match the circuit diagram. That's all for the code changes. Just ensure the frequency channels match your selected frequency band. Any mismatch will prevent the device from communicating with the gateway. We covered this in a previous video, so check it out for details. Once everything's set, connect the Arduino Nano to your laptop. Verify the upload settings. Select board Arduino Nano and the correct board. Then click Upload. After uploading, open the serial monitor. The text displayed indicates the LoRa end node has initiated a join request. Now head to the Things Network server and check the live data section of your application. You'll see the join request has been accepted and the device has sent its first data packet containing the message we programmed. This data is encrypted but automatically decrypted into a human-readable format, thanks to the decryption process we set up in a previous video. The uplink messages are now being received seamlessly by the network server for the configured time period. That's how you develop an OTA activation-based LoRa end node with an Arduino Nano and RFM95 module. You can modify the message to send useful sensor data to the network server, which can then be forwarded to an application server for long-term storage or visualization for customers. I'll work on a project to demonstrate this soon. I hope you found this episode helpful. Stay tuned to Electronics Innovation for more LoRaWAN videos. See you in the next exciting project. Bye for now.